Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate you and the ranking member holding this important hearing on these issues. Mr. Quadman, as you know, last October, the Department of Labor released an interpretive bulletin for economically targeted investments and investment strategies, environmental, social, and governance factors, which now allows these factors and collateral benefits to be considered when selecting an investment in an ERISA plan. I've spent kind of 3 decades in the study of and the participation in the asset management industry, and I've read the document, and it's very, very carefully worded, but I still am concerned that this guidance undermines ERISA's mandate that plan assets are invested solely in the interest of plan participants, and that these factors, other factors, might take precedent and deviate from maximizing returns for beneficiaries. In passing ERISA, Congress chose specifically not to include any provision that would allow plan assets to be used to pursue any societal purpose other than protecting plan assets. To the contrary, Congress included Section 404A, which says, in order to make a law of trust applicable to the plans and eliminate such abuses as self-dealing, imprudent investing, and misappropriation of plan funds. Recently, both of the main proxy advisory firms have partnered with ESG research firms. Glass Lewis announced their partnership with Sustainalytics to integrate Sustainalytics ESG research and ratings into Glass Lewis proxy research and vote management platforms. This is an issue that I don't think's received very much attention, and I'd be interested in your thoughts on the bulletin. Any thoughts and concerns you might have first, and then secondarily, any ties that this to proxy advisors and their advisors that we're discussing today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Congressman Hill. Let me address that in 2 separate points. We were very concerned about that bulletin. We had written to Secretary Perez before that bulletin was released, where we asked for empirical evidence as to why they were considering some of the changes they were. Unfortunately, with the bulletin today, environmental, social, and governance concerns now rank on par with investment return for ERISA pension funds, and that is now migrating out to other areas. So as an example, the New York State Common Fund, which has an ERISA-type fiduciary duty, issued 75 shareholder proposals last year on proxy access, but they were very open about the fact they were not going for good corporate governance issues. They're actually looking to put a pressure point on companies regarding climate change proposals. So rather than having that open debate there, it was wrapped up in a corporate governance debate. You know, the second point to it is, when you take a look at proxy advisory firms, and this is what the 2014 SEC guidance did and where the Duffy bill goes even further, is that the proxy advisory firm guidance or recommendations need to be correlated to the fiduciary duty of their clients, so of the institutional investor that they're providing recommendations to. So that if we're now beginning to muddy those waters, all the debates that we're having today about enhancing long-term shareholder value are going to go out the water, and we're going to have situations like the Illinois pension funds, where you have a very active pension fund on things other than good return, now suddenly going underwater, and unfortunately it's going to be the taxpayers that are going to foot the bill.
Well, this is concerning to, I think, taxpayers, because public pension funds are severely underfunded in this country, and also use, in my judgment, hypothetical actuarial return statements that are far too high to today's market conditions. So I do have a lot of concerns about it. Commissioner Gallagher, your thoughts on that subject?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. I saw the circular too last October. For me, a similar reaction to what Mr. Quadman said. More though, it for the first time caused me to think about what I see as a trend or a push for the federalization of the retirement system. More generally, where there seems to be interest with ERISA waivers coming out of DOL, this policy statement, and elsewhere, a move towards, as we've seen very publicly, state-sponsored private sector retirement plans, which, if they add an option, if they're in a competitive market, you might think that's a good thing, but I'm not sure that's the case. So I do think this is something for the Congress to watch very carefully, that, the track record of government oversight of retirement plans has been checkered in some ways, and expanding it might not be the best thing.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Gentlemen, for
Thank you,
time.
Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
All right, Mr. Carney, recognized for 5 minutes.